For now, let's get you more perspective on the G20 summit and Africa's expectations. And I'm joined live from Kampala by Michael Nyitegeka. He's a consultant with ICDL in Africa. Michael, thank you. Let's start regionally, though. East Africa has benefited quite significantly recently from infrastructural development from China. What will the region be hoping, though, that will come out of the G20 summit?
Pleasure being here with you. I think the expectation is the continuation of the same investment in infrastructure and support. I think there's also going to be huge expectation beyond just the infrastructure support to technical knowledge transfer or skills transfer, so that the Africans are not just left behind in terms of the investment, in terms of the utilization of the technology that the Chinese investors are using in these economies, but also their participants. And I think that is going to be critical from a takeaway as the summit goes on.
Well, Michael, investment is a key issue for Africa. Industrialization, as we've heard, Africa's industrial takeoff is also a key issue. But terrorism is also a significant problem for the region, and it is due to be discussed at the summit. Do you think concrete solutions will come out of the summit on terrorism particularly?
Well, terrorism is quite fragile, and I think it evolves. So yes, we can expect there will be concrete actions to be taken, but it's not static. It's not static that you're going to come and get it. And so what I think should really come out of that is the continuous investment in counter-terrorism, because the people that we're dealing with are people that are always trying to be ahead of the game. From the IT's perspective, we think about the antiviruses. So the same way. So we just need to make sure that we invest right in the anti-terrorism effort, because that way, then we can always be, it's more or less like really playing catch up, but I'm pretty sure that the interest is high now to make sure everybody's on board with fighting terrorism.
Well, at the G20 summit, though, South, West, Central and North Africa will be represented in South Africa, Senegal, Chad and Egypt. Anyone from East Africa?
Well, I'm pretty sure there will be representation, and in whatever form. I think for me the critical thing is not the physical representation. I think the key for me is, do we have a voice, and that voice can be delivered in different perspectives. So I'm looking forward to the agenda and the conversations that will happen, because what happens in Egypt will have a ripple effect on East Africa, on Sub-Saharan Africa. And so we must pay attention to the conversations that are happening at the summit, because one way or the other we get impacted and have an effect on us.
Well, Michael Nyitegeka joining us there from Kampala. Thank you very much for your insights.